Hello, loves. Are you sharing your home office with another space, such as living room, closet, or even a bedroom? If so, I have a few tips to help organize your home office via big or small. Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of BRE's Organizational Quick Tips. Here are a few tips to get a functional home office no matter the location or size. Have adequate space for a work area. This means space for computer hardware and equipment. Also, an area for reference materials like books and research. Don't forget that paperwork management, so you need a nice filing area. And then lastly, great furniture with plenty of space for a work area and storage. Tip number 2. Zone the work areas. Now, most of you are familiar with this when it comes to me and my organization. I love working in zones. A well-functioned office should have zones for a better working environment. I start off with 3. And they are your working zone, which is clearly on your desk. This is a workspace for your computer and immediate office supplies. The second is your reference zone. These include your binders with your reference materials or manuals and professional books. And then lastly is your supply zone. These houses all of your office and paper supplies. Tip number 3, equipment location by use. I have found I prefer my multifunctional printer close because I use it so frequently. By positioning your equipment by frequency of use saves time and frustration. For example, if a scanner is rarely used, it can be placed outside of the working area. When setting up your work zone, be conscious of access to drives, trays, and cords. Don't block access to drawers or take up leg room with tangled cords. Use cord organizers to better organize all your cords and free some of that room under your desk. Lastly, we come to tip number 4, establishing a paper processing zone. Having a functional paper processing system is the best way to eliminate clutter, chaos, and a lot of headaches. Create an area within your work zone for papers that need immediate action. For example, having folders on your desk that you can view right away, labeled for projects, reading materials, and action. Have a filing system for permanent and temporary storage for these paperworks for later referencing, or paperwork that needs a longer storage time. So let's review. Tip number 1, have adequate work area with functional furniture and storage. Tip number 2, create work zones to better organize your workspace. Tip number 3, position your equipment according to use. And lastly, tip number 4, establish a paper processing zone to better manage and file long-term or short-term paperwork. Well, that would do it for me, my friends, for this BRE's Quick Tip. Hopefully, I've given you some great tips to establish a functional office no matter where it's located. See you on the next one.